Welcome back to Garage K. My name is David and today we'll be working on my 1998 Toyota Altezza. What are we doing today, Dave? We're going to fit this. This is the HKS exhaust manifold, or header, if you will. And there's where our O2 sensor is going to go. We're going to go with the PLX wideband on this. Did you get that crappy gasket off of there? Got a new one for that. I don't think I've got this gasket though. Goodbye. Just machine the face a little bit. What's the other face like? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this gasket because it might be HKS proprietary or something stupid. Now, HKS in their infinite wisdom have decided to use this gasket instead of the OEM gasket to join the header to the mid pipe or the front pipe or whatever you want to call it. I can't find this on Google to buy. I took a photo of it and sent it to my parts guy, and he's going to see if he can find it. As we sit today, I'm screwed. Why didn't they just use the OEM gasket? Who knows? This is the OEM exhaust manifold gasket. Part number will be in the description. Weeks ago, I started putting Peneton with penetrating oil on all of the bolts that I could see at the top to hopefully make it easier to get them out. This is the heat shield. I got one bolt there, and one bolt there. Oh, we're going to pull this out and see how much the Peneton actually did. Did it do anything at all? That came out actually pretty easy. Look at that. It's dry as anything. They look like they've had anti-seize on them, so maybe that's why they didn't get stuck. Oh, okay. I've done everything by hand for so long that I forget that I've got this stuff. Thanks again, Ryan. Oh, look at that. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely no Peneton on the threads at all, despite drowning them for weeks. Oh, I need to weigh that. That weighs a ton. This is going to get interesting. So we got a bolt, a nut, a bolt, a nut, and the other one down the back is probably a bolt as well, but I can't even see it. Hopefully I can reach it without taking the water pump off. That will suck. They're not bad. They're just covered in crap, that's all. Yo. So it didn't work on bolts. Let's see how it works on this. I'm not really hoping as much that it goes in there as much as if I can actually get it to break loose, that this thread here will be lubricated. Okay, that's one. That's loose. I don't know if it's spinning the stud or the nut. Oh, that one wasn't that tight. Neither was that. Neither was that. I love this wireless mic setup, but it's just another thing that you're going to forget to turn on. Is there anything worse than launching your hand into something metal when the bolt lets go? There we go. Get out! Pro tip, buy yourself one of these if you don't have one. Another tip, undo your O2 sensor before you let the front pipe drop. Make your life easier. We're just going to fight with it. There we go, O2 sensor out. It might have been a better idea to crack these before I took the rest of the exhaust off, because now we're just sort of hanging up here, flopping around. Kind of surprised by that. If you can't get enough leverage with one spanner, you can actually join them together. Like so. Bye. Right, now can we get this out of here? Rotate it that way, and then up and out. Sweet. OEM versus HKS. That went in really easy. Hands up who didn't check the torque values of this before they started. This is so much lighter than the OEM stuff. It's incredible. Bit of anti-seize. I don't mind telling you how much this sucks. If you don't have a socket with a magnet in it, get one. Otherwise, you're going to hate this more than I just did. This sucks. This really is terrible. But it's doable like this. Use this one for running it in and this one for tightening it up. I'm just going to remove this bracket from here. This is dumb. These header bolts need to be set to 50 Newton meters. Didn't see anything about a cross pattern. 50 seems excessive. Getting the torque wrench in here sucks. Doesn't really fit. Oh, just fits. Okay. Header is done up to 50 Newton meters. Fast forward a few weeks and here's the gasket. There's the part number. I'll put that in the description. I actually ordered 2 of them because I never wanted to wait again. The mid gasket looks to be this one here. I'll put this part number in the description as well. Right, so put this gasket on, being careful not to damage it, because if we do, we have to wait another 2 weeks. Anti-seize all of the things. Put this up here. Get the new gasket in there. Should have put this on before I put it in the car. Yeah. There we go. Top one in. There she is. That's the Altezza exhaust. Wait a minute. Is that just... Why is there like a hole? Look at this. What is... Oh, it's not even... Wow, they don't even... It's not even... It's just floating in there. Oh, wow. Okay. First things first, I need to get some silicone spray on these rubber hangers. 1, 2. Well, I said silicone spray, but this is all I can find, so I'm going to do this. Really don't know where my silicone spray is gone, but anything slippery should do. This is basically WD-40. These are a 14. That one you can get with a ratchet. This one behind here, you'll have to go in with a ratchet spanner or some other kind of ratchet. Let's just see. Yeah, not tight. One. And we're down. That was dramatic. Gonna change that gasket out. Here's the part number. It'll be in the description. Can I get that to go through? I can. Sweet. I actually don't think this fits properly. It's actually sitting on the bumper. Looking forward to getting the second one in because anti-seize goes everywhere and then you end up looking like Tin Man. Yeah. Yeah. Jasma nuts. As you can see, these are in and being pulled backwards, which is very weird. But the more weird part that you're about to see is this. So it's actually touching in there. This is for an Altezza with an Altezza bumper and a TRD lip. Now it's not touching the lip, but it is actually touching the OEM bumper. It should be over there. What I've discovered is if I undo this side mount, it actually springs back the other way to a decent position, not touching on either side. But I kind of want it, I want it in the center, yeah? If I can get that bracket out of there, I might be able to slot those holes and then put it wherever I want and then tighten it up. I've got the jack here with some bubble wrap on the top, just holding this thing up. Also, highly recommend using silicone spray. Don't use WD-40. Silicone spray, just a quick spray, and then these things just come off super easy. Like, you just have to give it a little bit of persuasion. Difficult with one hand, of course, but there we go. Look at that. This is our bracket, so I'm just going to make this about 1 centimeter bigger on this side and the same on this side, so it goes that way. Yo! I'm going to use this bit here that cuts sideways and Allen gated. Check it out. Right, which way does this go? The arrow faces the front of the car. That's certainly a lot better. Have one more go at it. Right. So I discovered the hard way that when you're charging Rode microphones, they don't record. So the problem I've run into here is that the flat area changes to a sloped area, and that's not allowing me to do up the bolts in the position that I want it. What I'm going to do is flatten that area out from the inside using my bearing press. The key to using a bearing press successfully is having bits of junk around that you can jam in it to squash things with. A lot of people told me not to buy a bearing press because I'd never use it, but I use it for stuff like this all the time. Don't buy a bearing press, Dave. That's a terrible idea. You'll never use it. I've got one and I never use it. Well, that's because you're not customizing anything. That's because everything you do is easy. What do we get? Oh, still way too far this way. It's not touching anymore, and I can see that the distance that I cut out is now this distance, but we need to go a lot more. We need to be over here, right? See, it's not touching, but it's not perfect, so we'll try again. Round 3. Need to flatten this area out the same way we did this one. Here you can see how the slope would stop the nut from going into the location that I need it and would actually push the bracket back the opposite direction. And there it is, fitting absolutely perfectly. That wasn't difficult to do, it was just a little bit time consuming. If you want to know what's going on with that lip spoiler, you better subscribe.